Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to break down systems that actually work. Cut through all the noise so you don't have to sift through endless advice. Today, we're diving into something pretty foundational, a real classic that changed the game for millions. David Bach's The Automatic Millionaire.
Yeah, this one's huge, and our mission today is really focused. We want to pull out the exact actionable system from Bach. The system he claims, pretty boldly, will build serious wealth.
And the key word there is automatic.
Absolutely. We're talking about becoming a millionaire, but get this. Without needing iron discipline every day, no painful budgeting, no relying on sheer willpower.
Right. It's wealth building designed to just happen while you're busy living your life.
Exactly, while you sleep, basically.
And that idea, wealth without the constant effort, that's what makes this book, I think, so incredibly powerful, isn't it?
It really is. Bach is upfront about his own success, millionaire by 30, multimillionaire by 35. But he doesn't play it off as luck or genius.
No, he frames it as, look, these are concepts you can learn, tools anyone can pick up and use. He basically says he got there faster by ignoring a lot of the usual financial noise.
And that's the radical part, right? His flat-out rejection of what the financial advice industry usually preaches.
Totally. All that track every single penny stuff, or you got to sacrifice everything now for later.
Bach just gets human nature. You're busy, I'm busy, we're all busy. Life throws curveballs, there's friction. So if your financial plan needs you to, sit down every week, wrestle with spreadsheets, and summon up massive motivation, well, statistically, it's kind of set up to fail, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to fall off the wagon. His core idea uses, behavioral psychology.
Right.
Just remove the decision points.
Yeah.
Eliminate the fatigue.
Right. The system, he promises, needs no budget, no discipline, zero ongoing motivation, because the structure itself does the work. You set it up once, automate it.
And then inertia, which usually works against us, actually starts working for you. The system just keeps rolling.
That automation piece is crucial. It closes that gap between, I know I should save, and actually doing it. There's no moment of doubt oh, but I had that car repair this month. Maybe I'll skip saving.
Nope. The money just moves.
Yeah.
Automatically. Before you can talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, it becomes this passive wealth engine just chugging along in the background. Guaranteed progress, bit by bit.
Okay, so let's dig into this. First stop. Tackling that huge myth that holds so many people back. The idea that if you just earn more money, you'll automatically get rich.
Oh, yeah. This is fundamental. Bach just blows this up right at the start with some really powerful real-life stories.
It's crucial because, so many of us were waiting for that next raise, that promotion, thinking, if I just hit $150K or $200, then I'll be set.
Right. But Bach shows plain as day, if your system is broken, more money just means bigger problems, more expensive traps.
Like his friend Chris. It's a classic story from the book. Chris started out making, $35,000 a year? Pretty modest.
And he had that classic thought, okay, once I hit $75,000, then I'll get serious about saving. We've all been there, right?
Totally. But the thing is, the raises kept coming. He blew past 75K, hit 150K, then 250K.
And eventually, get this, he was making over $500,000 a year. $500,000 plus.
Living the dream, right? Big house, fancy cars, the whole package.
You'd think. But he was saving absolutely zero. Nothing. Nada.
It's the classic lifestyle creep trap. Every extra dollars that came in was immediately swallowed up by a bigger mortgage, more expensive holidays, just higher costs everywhere.
And the result? He wasn't happy. He actually told Bach, I hate my job. I feel trapped. All that money didn't buy freedom.
It bought him golden handcuffs. He had to keep that high-stress job he hated just to pay for the lifestyle he'd built, living paycheck to paycheck on $500,000 a year. It's insane.
It really is. And it mirrors that other story, Fred the attorney. Fred did everything right. Top grades, law school, fancy firm, looked successful on paper.
Right.
Financially, yeah. But because his whole life, wife doesn't work, 3 kids, expensive house is built around that huge lawyer salary, he's stuck. He can't switch careers, even if he hates it.
The lifestyle demands the income. He's trapped too, just in a different way.
Exactly. So what's the takeaway here for you listening? It's not about how much you make. It's about where your money goes, the direction of the cash flow.
And this is where Bach connects it back to something bigger, right? The whole idea of the American dream.
Precisely. It's not just about having a big pile of cash. Bach defines the real dream as freedom. Freedom to do what you want, when you want to do it.
And a high income on its own doesn't buy that.
Yeah.
It can actually do the opposite, tie you down more.
Right. Only a plan, an automated plan that builds real, lasting wealth can actually buy you your time back, buy you choices.
Okay, so we get the why. We need automation because, well, we're human. Now, let's figure out where you stand right now. Bach has these 6 questions. He claims they reveal like 90% of your wealth potential in under 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's like a quick financial diagnostic. Let's run through them. It's not really a test, more like a checklist to see where the leaks might be, you know?
Yeah.
Where do we need to start automating?
All right. Question 1. Pay yourself first. The big one, PYF. Are you automatically putting aside 10% of your gross income that's before taxes into savings or investments?
This is huge. Batch points out most people do it backwards. They pay the government first, taxes, then their landlord, the credit card companies, everyone else.
And then if there's anything left over, which there usually isn't.
Exactly. Then maybe they pay themselves. That sequence, he says, is basically a recipe for staying broke or just getting by.
Waiting till the end of the month to see what's left just doesn't work. It relies on willpower, and like you said, willpower runs out.
Paying yourself first forces you to live off the remaining 90%. It flips the script. We've seen so many people go from saving nothing to hitting that 10% mark just by making that one change automatic.
Okay, question 2. Your emergency cash. Do you have 6 months' worth of living expenses tucked away? And crucially, is it separate from your regular checking account, somewhere you won't accidentally spend it?
The stats here are kind of scary, honestly. Something like 1 in 4 Americans has less than 2 weeks of savings. 2 weeks.
Wow. That's living right on the edge. One unexpected bill, one job layoff.
And it's a disaster. That 6-month cushion isn't just money, it's breathing room. It's power. The power to walk away from a bad job or handle an emergency without panic.
Makes sense. Question 3. The Latte Factor. Do you actually know what your Latte Factor is? This is Bach's famous metaphor, right? For finding the money you didn't know you had.
Yeah, this is foundational. It's the principle that shows you already have the money to get rich. You just need to redirect it.
It's not literally just about lattes, though.
No. It's about any small, regular spending you barely notice. Bottled water, subscriptions you don't use, that daily snack. Finding this leak is step 1 before you can automate anything.
Got it. Question 4. Homeownership. Simple question. Are you a homeowner? Bach includes this because the numbers are just stark.
They really are. Average renter's net worth, often under $4,000. Average homeowner, closer to $140,000.
That's nearly 40 times more wealth.
Yeah, it's a massive difference. Renting means your housing payment builds your landlord's equity. Owning, even with a mortgage, is usually the biggest forced savings plan most people ever have.
Okay, question 5. Tithing. This one might surprise people. Do you give a percentage of your income to charity or your community? Why is this a financial question? Seems like it would slow down wealth building.
It's all about mindset, according to Bach. Even giving a small amount regularly cultivates a feeling of abundance, not scarcity.
So it's psychological. Feeling generous now rather than waiting until you feel rich.
Exactly. Waiting means you might spend your whole life feeling anxious about money, even if you have a lot of it. Tithing flips that switch to abundance early on.
Interesting. And the final one, question 6. Is it all automatic? Are all those first 5 things, paying yourself first, building the emergency fund, owning a home, paying the mortgage, maybe even tithing, are they happening automatically? Or are you relying on remembering, on discipline, on budgeting apps?
Because if it's manual, Bach argues, it's fragile. It's going to break down eventually. Why? Because, as he keeps saying,
You are busy.
you got it. The system has to work despite you being busy, not because you're constantly pending to it. So let's spend a bit more time on that latte factor.
Right.
Because it's so often misunderstood, right? People think it just means give up coffee and be miserable.
Yeah, it's not about deprivation, is it? It's about finding cash flow. It's more like a treasure hunt for money you're already spending.
Exactly. And the key is redirecting it. The story of Kim from the book really nails this. She was the one in a seminar, arms crossed, saying, nope, I'm totally broke. None of this applies to me.
I think a lot of listeners can relate to that feeling. Where is this magic money supposed to come from?
Right. So Bach just asks her, okay, humor me. What did you spend before lunch today?
And she starts listing it off. Morning coffee run.
Yep. Grande non-fat latte, $3.50, plus a muffin, another $1.50. Boom, $5 gone right there.
Before she even really started her day.
Then mid-morning snack attack. She went for something healthy, Jamba Juice, smoothie, $3.95. Added some fancy ginkgo babalui boost, plus a power bar.
Let me guess, another $5 or $6.
$5.70 for that round. So add it up. Before she even ate lunch, she'd spent $11.20 on stuff she barely thought about.
Wow. Okay.
So Bach simplifies it. He says, okay, forget $11. What if you just found $5 a day? $5 you could redirect from somewhere in your spending into an investment.
Just $5 seems small.
Seems small, but this is where the magic of compounding kicks in, the big aha moment. $5 a day is about $150 a month, right? Or around $2,000 a year.
Okay.
Kim was 23. If she did this consistently until she was 65, that's 42 years, and invested it automatically, getting an average market return, say 10%, plus maybe a company 401k match.
Okay, brace yourself. What's the number?
The potential total from just that $5 a day by age 65, a staggering $1,742,467.
$1.7 million from $5 a day.
Yeah. And Kim's reaction was exactly what you'd expect. Wait, are you seriously telling me my lattes and muffins are costing me almost $2 million?
And the answer is?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Basically, yes. The money isn't missing. It's just flowing out in these small, unnoticed streams instead of flowing into her future wealth. It's about redirecting, not necessarily giving up everything you enjoy. Maybe brew the coffee at home.
Right. Find a cheaper alternative.
And it scales up, too. Think about couples. If you and your partner each find just $10 a day to redirect, maybe packing lunch, canceling unused subscriptions, whatever.
Okay, so that's $20 a day total, $600 a month.
Over 40 years, assuming that same 10% average return, you're looking at roughly $3,794,448, almost $4 million.
Okay, I got to jump in here. The skeptical listener, maybe someone who knows a bit about finance, is screaming, inflation, inflation. $3.7 million in 40 years won't be worth $3.7 million today. And they're right, aren't they?
They are absolutely right to bring that up. It's a fair point. Inflation will erode the purchasing power over time, no doubt about it.
So, is the number misleading?
Well, here's the thing. Two crucial points. First, what's the best tool the average person has to actually beat inflation over the long haul? It's investing in assets that tend to grow faster than inflation, like stocks, which is exactly what this automated system does.
Okay, so you're fighting inflation with the investment returns.
Exactly. And second, even if that $3.7 million only has the buying power of, say, $1 million or $1.5 million in today's dollars, well, that's still a whole heck of a lot more than zero, isn't it?
True. Zero is what you get if you don't redirect the money.
Precisely. Zero is the likely outcome if you rely on willpower and hope. So, yeah, adjust for inflation mentally if you want, but the core point remains. Automating the savings guarantees a vastly better outcome than doing nothing.
So the Latte Factor isn't just about the coffee. It's about uncovering the hidden capital you already have and automatically pointing it towards your future self.
You got it. Find the leak, plug it, and automate the flow to where it serves you best.
All right, so you've done the detective work. You've found that Latte Factor cashed that $5, $10, maybe even $20 a day. Now comes the crucial decision. Where does it go?
Non-negotiable destination, right?
Absolutely. It has to feed the most important habit. Pay yourself first. PYF.
It sounds simple, but it's amazing how few people actually do it consistently. Bach has that stat. Most people work 8 or 9 hours a day.
But save the equivalent income of less than 22 minutes a week. It's backwards.
So the goal needs to be flipping that immediately. Mentally, you need to ensure that the income from the first hour you work every single day goes directly to you, into your savings, your investments, before anyone else gets a penny.
Okay, and Bach actually provides a formula, like a hierarchy based on savings rate, doesn't he?
Yeah, he lays it out pretty clearly based on where people usually end up financially depending on how much they save from their gross income.
So at the bottom, you've got
dead broke, spending more than you make, living on credit cards, digging a deeper hole.
Then there's the poor, or what he calls the rich poor.
Right. These are people, often high earners like Chris, who spend everything they make. They have the nice stuff, but zero security, zero cushion, zero freedom, paycheck to paycheck, just at a higher level.
Okay, they're moving up. We hit middle class.
This is where you start automating savings of 5% to 10% of your gross income. You're building something, slowly but surely.
And finally, the goal for real financial freedom. Maybe early retirement. Rich. Retire early.
Now you're talking 15% to 20% or even more of your gross income being automatically saved and invested.
Whoa, okay. 15, 20%. That sounds like a huge jump if you're starting from 0 or 5%. Might feel impossible.
And Bach acknowledges that. You don't necessarily start at 15%. The key is starting the automation and using the right tools, especially the tax-advantaged ones.
Right. The mechanism matters, using things like your company's 401k or 403b, or if you're self-employed, an IRA or SEP IRA, because that's the only legal way for most people to save before taxes bite.
Exactly. And this pre-tax advantage is massive. People underestimate it. Let's break it down, because just saving in a regular bank account doesn't cut it.
Okay, do the math for us.
Simple example. Let's say you invest $1 into your 401k. Because it's pre-tax, that full dollar goes in. If your tax rate is, say, 30%, you just avoided paying 30 cents in tax right now.
Okay, so the government didn't get its cut yet.
Right. Now, that full dollar earns a 10% return. You now have $1.10. Simple.
Got it.
Now, compare that to investing after tax. You earn the dollar, the government takes its 30 cents first, you're left with only 70 cents to invest. That 70 cents earns 10%, now you only have 77 cents.
Wow. So you lost 33 cents in potential growth right off the bat just because of taxes.
Immediately, and that's before the employer match. If your company matches, say, 50 cents on your dollar, a 50% match is generous, but common is 25-50% up to a limit, your pre-tax dollar instantly becomes $1.50 before it even earns a return. If that $1.50 grows 10%, you've got $1.65. Compare that to the 77 cents after tax. It's not even close.
Like free money you're leaving on the table if you don't use the 401k, especially up to the match.
Totally. It's almost always the best first place for your savings. And you don't have to hit 15% overnight. Remember the McIntyres, the couple in the book who retired super early.
Yeah, how did they start?
They didn't start at 15%. They started small, like 3%. Just 3% automatically into their 401k.
Okay, that feels more doable.
Then maybe every 6 months or every time they got a small raise, they just bumped it up by 1%. Incrementally, it took them like 4 years just to get to 10%. Then they kept going until they hit 15%.
So it's gradual. Automate the start, then automate small increases over time.
That's the key. Get the system running, then slowly dial it up. The consistency and the tax advantages do the heavy lifting for you.
We should also quickly mention the difference for self-employed folks, right? It's even more powerful.
Oh, massively. While a regular employee might max out their 401k contribution at, say, $23,000 a year, depending on age and the year, someone self-employed using a SEP IRA, back when the book was written, and even more so now, could potentially contribute much more. Maybe up to 25% of their income, capped at a way higher dollar amount, like $40,000 then, even more today.
Wow, that's a huge potential difference in how fast you can build wealth.
It's a significant advantage. If you run your own business, understanding and using these plans is absolutely critical for accelerating your wealth journey automatically.
Okay, automation applies to savings. What about the other big piece of the wealth puzzle for most people? Their house.
Right. If we're serious about automated wealth, we have to talk about home ownership. We mentioned that huge net worth gap earlier, renters versus owners, almost 40 times difference.
It's a tough pill to swallow if you're renting, but the numbers are hard to ignore. Bach basically says if you rent, you're just making your landlord rich.
Pretty much. Your payment builds their equity, not yours. Owning forces you to save via paying down the mortgage principal, building your own asset, but there's a trap even for homeowners.
The dreaded 30-year mortgage.
Exactly. Bach calls it one of the biggest ripoffs in finance, and when you see the numbers, it's hard to disagree.
Let's run them. Say you take out a $250,000 loan, maybe at, let's pick a number, say 7% interest over 30 years. What does that actually cost?
Okay, $250K at 7% for 30 years. The total interest you pay over those 3 decades is enormous. You'd pay something like $349,000 just in interest.
Whoa. More than the loan itself. So the total cost is like $600,000 for a $250,000 house.
Roughly, yeah. It's staggering. And here's the sneaky part. The way these loans are structured, what's called the amortization schedule.
How does that work?
The banks know their stats. They know the average American moves house every 7 to 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm. People move for jobs, family size changes.
Exactly. So they structure the loan so that in those crucial first 7-10 years, the vast majority of your monthly payment, maybe 80-90%, initially goes straight to paying interest. Very little goes to paying down the actual loan amount, the principal.
So you pay all this money for years, but you barely make a dent in what you actually owe.
Pretty much. Then you sell the house, pay off the small amount of principal you've accrued, and the bank gets ready to start the whole high-interest cycle over again with your next 30-year mortgage. It's designed to maximize their insured income over your lifetime.
Okay, so how do you fight back? What's the automatic fix?
It's beautiful in its simplicity. The biweekly mortgage payment plan.
How does that work? Sounds complicated.
It's actually super easy if you automate it correctly. Instead of making one full mortgage payment each month, you arrange to automatically pay half your monthly amount every 2 weeks.
Okay, Half every 2 weeks. Why does that help?
Because there are 52 weeks in a year, right? So paying half every 2 weeks means you make 26 half payments over the year.
26 half payments.
Yeah.
That equals 13 full monthly payments.
Exactly. You sneak in one extra full mortgage payment each year without really feeling it because it's broken down into smaller, more frequent chunks.
And that extra payment goes straight to
The principal. It bypasses the normal interest calculation for that chunk. And the impact of knocking down the principal faster is huge.
How huge? How much time does it save?
On that typical 30-year mortgage, making biweekly payments usually pays the whole thing off in about 21 to 22 years instead of 30.
You knock off 8 or 9 years just like that. Automatically.
Automatically. And the interest savings are massive too. On that $250K loan example, you could save well over $70,000 or $80,000 in interest payments, maybe more depending on the rate, just by automating this slightly different payment schedule.
That's incredible. Forced savings, accelerated equity, less money to the bank, win-win-win.
It really is. But Bach adds a crucial warning here.
What's that?
You can't always just manually send in an extra payment every 2 weeks or add a bit extra each month. Some banks have systems that might just hold that extra money and apply it to the next month's payment, including the interest. They don't necessarily apply it directly to principal right away.
Sneaky. So you need to ensure it's set up properly.
Yes. Ideally, you use your bank's official biweekly plan if they offer one, or use a reputable third-party service. Bach mentioned PayMap, there are others, that specifically sets up the automatic drafts and guarantees the extra payments go directly to principal reduction. There might be a small setup fee, but the long-term savings dwarf that cost.
Okay, we've talked about saving, we've talked about home ownership, but what if you're starting out buried in debt? Especially high-interest stuff like credit cards.
Yeah, that feels like the biggest roadblock for a lot of people. How can you save if you owe thousands on cards charging 18–20%?
It's a tough spot. And Bach has a specific strategy here. He insists you must still pay yourself first, even when in debt, but you modify the allocation. You implement a 50-50 split.
50-50, explain that. Okay, first step. You absolutely need some emergency cash. Bach says scrape together at least 1 month's worth of essential living expenses first. That's your basic safety net.
Okay, 1 month minimum cushion. Then what?
Then, any money you can find from your Latte Factor, maybe cutting expenses gets divided. 50% still goes to pay yourself first, like your 401k or an IRA for the future. The other 50% goes aggressively towards paying down your high-interest debt, dealing with the past.
That seems counterintuitive. Why put money in retirement earning maybe 8–10% when you have credit card debt costing 18%? Shouldn't 100% go to the debt?
Logically, mathematically, yes. Paying off the highest interest debt first seems optimal. But Bach argues this is about psychology and long-term adherence.
How so?
Paying off debt feels negative, like punishment. It's fixing past mistakes. If all your extra money goes only towards debt month after month, it can become really demoralizing. You don't see anything positive building up.
So you might just give up.
Exactly. People burn out. But by putting 50% into your retirement account, you see a balance growing. You see progress towards your future, something positive happening. That little bit of positive reinforcement keeps you motivated to stick with the whole plan, including attacking the debt with the other 50%. It makes the system sustainable.
That makes sense. Keep hope alive while you tackle the problem. So what are the key steps for that debt reduction piece? Operation, no more debt, he calls it.
Step 1 is crucial. Stop digging the hole deeper. You absolutely have to stop adding new debt, cut up the credit cards, literally, freeze them in a block of ice in the freezer, make it physically hard or impossible to use them impulsively.
Okay, stop the bleeding.
Then you gotta aggressively renegotiate your interest rates. This is huge. Don't just accept 18% or 22%. Call the credit card company.
Just call customer service.
Don't talk to the first person who answers. Ask politely but firmly for a supervisor, someone with authority.
Okay, get the supervisor. What do you say?
Be direct. Say something like, look, I've been a good customer, but my current interest rate is too high. I'm seeing offers from competitors for 0% balance transfers or much lower rates. I need you to lower my rate significantly, ideally below 6%, or I'll have to consider moving my balance.
Wow, just put it to him like that. Does that work?
Bach shares a story of someone doing this, literally pulled over on the side of the freeway, took 5 minutes, and got their rate slashed. The companies often will lower the rate, maybe not to 0, but significantly, just to keep you as a paying customer. They don't want to lose the revenue stream entirely. You have more power than you think.
Good tip. What else?
Know your power. You need to know your FICO score. Think of it as your financial GPA. It's the number lenders use to judge your creditworthiness.
And it affects the rates you get offered.
Massively. A good score means lower rates on everything: mortgages, car loans, future credit cards. You can check it at myfido.com or often through your bank or credit card statements now. Knowing your score helps you understand where you stand and gives you leverage when negotiating.
Makes sense. Okay, saving, debt. What about that last automated piece, the tithing? How does that fit in again?
Right, the final act of automation. It seems unrelated to debt or saving, but Bach ties it back to mindset, specifically creating long-term wealth stability.
The abundance mindset thing.
Exactly. He points out that many extremely wealthy people, genuine billionaires like Sir John Templeton, started giving a percentage of their income away long before they were rich. Templeton supposedly gave away half his income even when he was earning practically nothing, like $50 a month back in the day.
Wow. So it's not about waiting until you have extra money.
No, that's the key insight. The amount doesn't matter at first. You could start with automating just 1% of your income, or even less. The act of automating giving creates a feeling of abundance now. It trains your brain to believe you have enough to share.
Instead of constantly feeling like you're lacking.
Precisely. If you wait until you're a millionaire to start feeling generous, you might find you've become a millionaire who's still, well, cheap, fearful of losing it, anxious. That feeling undermines the whole point of having financial freedom, doesn't it?
Yeah, what good's money if you can't enjoy it or feel secure?
Right. So automating even a small amount of giving reinforces that positive abundance mindset. It makes you feel richer inside, less constrained, which actually supports the discipline and long-term vision needed to stick with the whole Automatic Millionaire plan. It completes the psychological loop.
It really is an elegant system when you lay it all out. So simple, really. Bach basically says, forget the complex spreadsheets. Forget the daily willpower battles. Just set up the automation.
Yeah, strip away the guilt, the complexity, the need for constant vigilance. Build the structure, make it automatic, and then trust it. Trust the passive engine you've created.
That trust is key, isn't it? You don't need to be a stock market genius or an economics professor.
Not at all. You don't need to time the market, read analyst reports, none of that. Just automate the pay yourself first, find that Latte Factor cash, get it flowing into those tax-advantaged accounts like the 401k or IRA, maybe automate the biweekly mortgage payments.
Set it and mostly forget it.
Pretty much, let the system do the work.
So let's bring it home for everyone listening. What's the immediate takeaway?
We need action, right? Positive thinking is great, but Bach is all about positive doing.
Absolutely. So here's the challenge, the Automatic Millionaire action step you can take, like today or tomorrow, based on Bach's own workbook style. 2 simple things.
Okay, lay it on us.
Number 1, find your Latte Factor. Just commit to tracking everything you spend for one single day. Cash, cards, apps, everything. No judgment, just write it down or track it.
Just one day of awareness.
Exactly. At the end of that day, look at the list and find one specific, small, regular expense. The coffee, the soda, the snack, the subscription that you're honestly willing to redirect. Just one.
Okay, identify one leak. What's step 2? Number 2, make the automation promise. Connect back to that core idea. Pay yourself first. Pick a date, ideally your very next payday, no later. And commit that on that day, you will take the step to automatically save at least 1% more of your gross income than you are now.
Just 1%.
Start with 1%. If you're saving 0 now, start with 1%. If you're at 5%, bump it to 6%. Call HR, go online to your 401k provider, set up an automatic transfer to an IRA, whatever it takes, make that first automatic increase happen.
That 1% is like turning the key in the ignition.
Exactly. It starts the engine, it gets the compounding clock ticking, it engages the tax advantages, it proves the system works. You do the setup work once, and that 1% starts working for you, potentially for decades.
And you can gradually increase it later, like the McIntyres.
That's the path. Start small, start automatic, then build momentum.
Brilliant. Do the work once, let the money work for you.
That really is the core message. The decision you automate today is literally buying you the freedom you want tomorrow. It's that powerful.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks for walking us through it. And thank you for joining us on The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.